We next have Lucy Peckham, wants to talk about Title 21, Chapter 5, Housing and Enclosed Backyard Pets Legally. Ma'am?
It's nice to have the eggs.
Welcome to the meeting, ma'am. Time's yours.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Assembly and Mayor Sullivan, good evening. My name is Lucy Peckham, and I live at 8900 Jupiter Drive here in Anchorage. I'm here on behalf of the email group called the Coalition for Backyard Pets. We formed 5 years ago with one purpose, and that is to get a code change to Title 21 that would allow us to own chickens and rabbits as backyard pets in residential Anchorage. I think it's fair to say that we were active participants in the rewrite process. And on September 16th, 2008, when the Assembly unanimously, provisionally adopted the new Chapter 5 of Title 21, two of us were here to give you a standing ovation. I know you were amused, or bemused perhaps. There aren't many things you do that receive an enthusiastic standing ovation. At that time, we were given estimates of about 18 months to finish the rest of Title 21 and enact it. It's been 2.5 years. Title 21 is a huge code requiring great attention to detail in its revision. We recognize the ongoing effort of the city to modernize it. That having been said, the code regarding the outdoor keeping of animals stands alone. An ongoing conflict was identified and resolved through the revision process, but it has not been enacted. The new code effectively addresses and resolves issues. It is based on successful backyard pet codes already in practice around the country. There is no additional cost or burden to this small section of the new code. And there is an ongoing burden and cost associated with enforcing the old code. Here's what we'd like from the Assembly. We would like you to pass an independent ordinance using the language provisionally approved 2.5 years ago. There's even a precedent for this action. It's called the Large Animal Ordinance. The Assembly adopted the Large Animal Ordinance independently from Title 21, the rewrite, to address and immediately solve urgent problems with the old code, and that's what we want you to do now for us. So why now? Why not wait for Title 21? The soonest we've been told we can expect Title 21 to even be addressed again is later this summer. In Alaska, there is a small window of opportunity to plant gardens from seeds and starts. It's similar with chickens. We need to buy chicks between May and July for them to feather out and grow enough to be winter hardy. We need the new code. I am summarizing, thank you.
Thank you.
We need the new code or we have to wait another year. In 7 years, I've been watching the trend and progress of legalizing backyard pets nationwide, and I know of over 30 cities that have enacted new codes, including Juneau. Not one has taken more than a year except us. All the hard work has been done already. You have the exact language, the community involvement and approval, the blessing of the planning department and of animal control, and you've even approved it yourselves. Now, make it law, please. Thank you. By the way, I'm not alone. A few members of the Coalition for Backyard Pets are here in support. Would you please stand? Thank you.
We have some questions. Elvie?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, she lives in your district.
Mr. Chairman, she lives in our district.
I know she
does.
I know exactly where she lives.
And I had the pleasure of meeting with Lucy, I don't know, a week or so ago. And I feel your pain, frankly, because it was provisionally approved. And I have a couple of questions. And the first question is, when you and I met, you said that you had support from the planning department and animal control. Could you tell me what you meant by that? Refresh my memory.
I can, sure. Over the years, I've developed ongoing communication and relationships with people in the planning department. The whole coalition has. Al Al Barrett, who is a senior planner with the Planning Division Department, sent an email to me saying that there would be no objection within the Planning Department to the Assembly going ahead with this independently. In reference, within the department, I also have the verbal support of my zoning enforcement code officer, Mike Billmayer, and the planner who wrote the code, who is Erica McConnell, sorry. As to the animal control department, Dr. Wilson and Officer Bradley Larson have long voiced their support. And last week, the members of the coalition attended the regular Animal Control Advisory Board meeting on March 24th. And Neil Koeniger, who is chairman of that board, said that I could say they are in support of the Assembly enacting an ordinance to implement the language approved for the outdoor keeping of animals in the new Title 21, Chapter 5, Section 14, Parts A and B. So,
just one other question. What's the burden in enforcing the old code?
The burden of enforcing the old Title 21, in Mr. Koeniger's words, he said, right now, the city of Anchorage is encouraging scofflaws. When I called every animal store in town, they all sell rabbits and rabbit hutches. Those are illegal enclosures, and they had no idea. And people who come in and buy them have no idea. So they get these animals, chickens or rabbits, and then they find out later they're illegal. And they either take them to animal control, where they're now part of the problem of rehoming an animal that is legal by Animal Control Code, Title 17, but not legal to house in most residential areas in Anchorage. So it's a burden on them. The other problem is that the planning law, what is their actual title? The land use enforcement officers who are charged with enforcing the old Title 21 get calls. We have chickens. I know this code is going to be passed. What do? They're now they have information that someone has animals illegally in violation of Title 21, and they're supposed to enforce the law that exists, but there's this thing that's going to happen that's going to change. So they actually refer people to me. I'm getting referrals from the planning department to help people out in this meantime. So I think this is an imbalance that needs to be cleared up and resolved.
LB, we do need to move on.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Birch, sir, final comments?
I simply wanted to thank you for your thoughtful and insightful testimony, and I have had a number of communications, and I very much enjoy my farm fresh eggs coming from the local chickens in the community. So,
thank you, sir.
You bet. Thank you, and we'll see what we can do to help.
Thank you for coming, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm supposed to deliver a letter from a young lady to Mr. Flynn, if I might approach.
Go ahead.
And do you want to give him this?
And I have a list of all the members in attendance tonight from the coalition, if I might give that to you.
Go ahead.
Thank
We'll give it to the clerk. She's the one that gets it to all of us.
Mr. Attorney, could I clarify something?
Go ahead, ma'am.
Basically, what we approved in the provisionally adopted Chapter 5 was allowance for keeping backyard animals in smaller lots with less setback requirements. So I just wanted to correct the statement. It's currently legal for rabbits and chickens, but only in certain circumstances. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.